Hello everyone, Nubkex here. Welcome back to Nubrides. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the Fusion event calendar here for Blizzard, the Howler. There's a lot of stuff, kind of a lot of tricky stuff actually on first glance happening here. So let's try do our best to make it a bit easier, shall we? So I'd say one of the first things, look at this. There are, if we come over, 200 fragments available from tournaments, 200 from events, 50 from a hero's path, giving you 450 in total. Now, you need 400 fragments. So either you have to do everything. You might get lucky and pull one of these epics. It's very unlikely, but if you pull one of these epics, that obviously opens you up to skipping 4 events, which is pretty big. The hero's path is, oh, that's really big. Oh my god, it's the size of my brush is vanished somewhere. We have a hero's path over here, which actually starts on Christmas Day, and that will give 50. I'm not sure what this is going to be. I would fairly strongly suspect it's going to be summoning events, would be my guess. We're going to have a champion chase tournament ending on Christmas Day. I would not be surprised to see more shard events, you know, from Christmas moving forward. I mean, it's Christmas Day, right? It makes sense. So I would be pretty skeptical about that. I don't think we've got any information about that hero's path. I'll obviously let you know when I know, but I would not bank on this, especially if you're not going to spend. Like, if you're going to buy a bunch of stuff on Christmas Day, a bunch of shards and stuff, yeah, I'd say you're fairly safely set to do this, but just be really, really careful about that. Another thing to bear in mind, guys, if we jump over here, we can see, yeah, Yuletide Titan event points are going to be in some of these events and tournaments for sure. So if you're looking to complete that Tormund fusion, basically, this is going to happen as well. You can see all of the events for the fusion so far have Yuletide points. Let's take a quick glance. You can see the Dragon Tournament, fairly standard as we're expecting. 2250, the Super Raids, we've got 30 Yuletide points in there. The Champion Training, you actually have to go further to get the Yuletide points than just getting the fragments. So that could be a bit tricky, although this guy's almost got it done already. Look at him fly. So yeah, watch out for that. That's an extra sort of layer of complexity. Final layer of complexity, you can see down here. I think this is very misleading. Let's just put like a big X through all that. That's a whole lot of junk, right? Fragments are fragments. You don't have to do specific events to fuse in it. You just need to get the fragments. You basically just need to do everything. It's really that simple. Let's take a look then at the summon events. There are 2. So we have Summon Rush, right? And then we're going to have a Champion Chase tournament as well. So this Summon Rush, it's actually not too bad, honestly. It's a progressive chance event with the Duchess Lilitu or Prince Kymar or various others, Venus or Tuhanarok from Void Shards. I did a video on it yesterday. It's actually a very, very good progressive chance event. So yeah, hopefully the points aren't going to be too high. I'm worried that they might, simply because it's such a good progressive chance event. And this event does have those Yuletide points in it as well. I'll be pulling tomorrow. We'll sort of break that down in detail tomorrow, what I think about it, how far to go and such. But watch out for this. I'm not really sure what shard types to expect here, because it's so close to Christmas. They could, in theory, kind of do anything. If we go by the standard thing, I think it's 2x Sacreds is what is expected, which is the most difficult of all of these events. So yeah, I don't know, man. That's kind of tough, honestly. I would say it's probably best to expect 2x Sacreds over here and to save for that. Or if you've got lots of fragments available, that's okay. And therefore, you might not want to go too heavy on Sacreds and Summon Rush, even if, yes, there's a Duchess or Kymar in there. You might be better off doing the Summon Rush with Void Shards. So yeah, that's sort of up to you to figure out where you are with shards, but that would be my warning. I think there's a fairly decent chance we've got a shard-based Heroes Path over here. This is likely 2x Sacreds, but it could be one of every shard type. You know, who knows exactly what they could do? It's Christmas, so it could be anything. 2x Sacreds is the most likely. And then we've got the good Summon Rush. So that's for the summoning events. Summon-wise, it's pretty intensive, really, is what I would say. Let's take a look at, well, a couple more straightforward things. So we've got Classic Arena 1, and Classic Arena 2. Those are very easy. You simply have to do them. One thing I will say about Classic Arena 2 is it is really going through Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So this is one where you might want to try make sure get that done on Saturday, if possible. Like, grind it pretty hard and just get it done. So that's something to watch out for. The first one should be easy enough. Let's look at artifact enhancement. We have 3 of them, which I know a lot of you guys don't like. This is simply a case of saving your silver. And actually, ooh, this will be important. Let's put it over here. This is likely CVC, probably with personal. Well, I don't know. I'd say it's probably with personal rewards, would be my guess. I think they probably do personal rewards. Put a question mark in instead, just because we're not entirely sure. I would be expecting the personal rewards. I think the last one was with personal rewards, but they might do it back to back. But yeah, look, Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's leave a question mark because we're not sure. That will overlap artifact enhancement with CVC. So I'd be doing artifact enhancement during CVC. Get yourself some extra CVC points. That shouldn't be too bad. I'll also say it means that this Dungeon Divers is going to overlap with CVC as well. So you might be spamming some Spider Dungeon to get some nice quick CVC points, and that will make this Dungeon Divers a little bit easier to do because they're going to be tricky. These other artifact enhancements, to go back to that point, are just sort of out on their own. Again, this third one begins on Christmas Day, on the 25th, 26th, 27th. So just make sure, I think that's one of the big dangers, is to just miss out on some of these events over Christmas because you're busy and you don't have time to play the game. So that would be what I'd be looking out for. Yeah, artifact enhancement, it is what it is, unfortunately. Let's look then at your dungeon tournament. So we've got Dragon starting out over here. In fact, so Dragon, I'd say the ideal day to do Dragon is, Saturday and into Sunday. And then you could do a little bit right now early on. That's going to be okay. But definitely sort of trying to overlap that with the Dungeon Divers would be my advice. Then we've got Ice Golem. Ice Golem overlapping. And I feel like you can kind of do Ice Golem whenever. And therefore you can kind of do Dungeon Divers whenever. This is a long Dungeon Divers. It's probably going to require a lot of points. This extra day means extra points. It's probably going to be very, very high. So I'd be trying to chip away at that pretty consistently. Really hard focusing mostly on Saturday for Dragon, right? With Dungeon Divers, get the Ice Golem done with it, and then get your CVC points with Spider. I'd maybe be trying to get Ice Golem done first and just try to have a good sort of rhythm there. This Fire Knight sort of in the middle of nowhere, and then it will overlap with Dungeon Divers 2. Dungeon Divers 2 actually should overlap with Spider on the Sunday. Then maybe skip Christmas Day, which is quite pleasant, and then go hard on Spider the 26th and 27th. It seems to be sort of designed like that. I feel that, you're not going to be necessarily playing too hard on Christmas Day, which is good. And again, Dungeon Divers 3, you kind of just have to go hard until the end and get it done. It will overlap with Spider, which is nice. There's nothing else really overlapping it. But there may be, I would not be shocked if there were, if there was more events over here. I would not be shocked to see something. I guess it will overlap with the Hero's Path. So yeah, we'll have to see. Not sure what could happen, but I'd expect, again, certainly summoning events here. We could have back-to-backs. We could have constant summoning events for the whole month. What have we missed? The champion training, of course. Of course. Everybody loves champion training. Let's do like a dark blue. That's fine. So we've got one over here. Again, this champion training, I would be kind of focusing on, up to this point, basically until the Dungeon Divers starts, and then hopefully be done before Dungeon Diver starts. Swap over into Fire Knight. So champion training, doing some of that during CVC on the second day, and then on the Thursday as well. I'm pretty sure CVC is here, isn't it? It would hardly be over here. I'm pretty sure. I got really confused because I was sick and I missed the last stream. Yeah, it's not been this week. Yeah, we're fine. It is this one. Okay, and then this champion training, I would actually be beginning with this. I'd be trying to get this champ training done. And then, you can sort of slowly finish it off. But that'd be my focus right now, right? So for starting off day one, I'd be going into champ training, then switching over into Dragon and trying to really blitz that with Dungeon Divers. And yeah, that's sort of the path there for the energy. I think this looks like a fairly difficult fusion overall. It would be my sort of vibes on it. I think let's just be realistic here. I'm expecting, because it is Christmas, because it is December, I know it's no time December and everything, but like that is such a small part of the game community that's playing. Realistically, Plarium is going to come in and look at this like it is December. This is the month where people spend more than anything else. And people will be willing to buy shards and packs, and there'll probably be good deals and stuff. There's the new content. This is probably going to be fairly tough. would be my expectation in terms of the points. I mean, I'd be happy to be wrong about that, but I just don't expect it. Blizzard is weird. Like, is he worth all this work? Before the Cursed City came out, I would honestly say no. Like, I just don't think he's particularly good. Like, yeah, triple hit freeze, whatever. Buff for your team. I mean, it's a decent move. He's got an AoE freeze and a 4-turn with some turn meter. Like, he's an okay champion, but he's nothing special. Like, again, pre-Cursed City, I would have said, you know what? For the amount of work this is going to take, just enjoy your Christmas off and don't even bother. With the Cursed City, though, and especially because Plarium have said that there are further difficulties coming, he might actually be quite good for the Cursed City. So that makes him, I think, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, worth getting, I think. And probably most fusions. It really changes up how we approach the fusions, I would say. Because now suddenly you could have like Bommel or Fire Knight Hard or something and be really restricted with your factions. And maybe Blizzard is actually going to be really good, you know? Maybe you're coming in and Blizzard could be your only source of freeze and he's got a triple hit A1 and Fire Knight Hard in the Cursed City is really restricted on a particular rotation because the restrictions are going to change for each room, every rotation, each stage. He might actually be really good there. Again, against Bommel, he's got AoE freezes and turn meter pushback for the bombs and freezes there, which makes the bombs not as bad. And he can protect your team. So he can revive himself as well. You know, he could help against the Frost Spider and Bommel or something. I don't know. Like, it could help with that sort of stuff. So I think if you're in a position to do this, then go for it. Of course, you could always say, like, man, I really don't want to go that hard over Christmas. Like, yeah, maybe I'll be missing out a good champion for a specific rotation of the Cursed City, but I'll find another way. And I think that makes sense as well. So it is up to you. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts about this. Are you going for it? Do you have any other tips regarding this calendar? I hope we've covered everything. We shall see. Unfortunately, there are a lot of question marks in terms of what is this hero's path? What will be happening for New Year's as well? What are the summoning events going to be over Christmas? We really just don't know. And they're not going to tell us until it actually happens. So yeah, there you go. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.